Alright guys, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last video for the week. So in that previous video we got those guys out of the way, so we got to do a couple of these guys. I know we did some yesterday, probably got to take a look at a couple more. Okay, so I know, me personally, okay, I'm going to look at it, okay, like take the numerator, in this case cube it. Okay, x squared minus 6 cubed over the denominator and cube it. Sine of 7x to the fourth cubed like that. And then I think what I would do is, rather than using the quotient rule, although you can do it, okay, if you want to use the quotient rule, get after it. Okay, I would bring this denominator up above using a negative exponent and then use the product rule. Okay, so I would be taking the derivative of cotangent of x squared minus 6 cubed times the sine of 7x to the fourth to the negative third, like that. Just personally, I think it's a little bit easier to do, but again, if you want to go ahead and use the quotient rule, by all means, go ahead. Okay, so let's see what we can come up with here. Okay, so I get the first times derivative of the second. Okay, so I got the first cotangent of x squared minus 6 to the third power times the derivative of the second, d dx of sine of 7x to the fourth to the negative third, plus the second, sine of 7x to the fourth to the negative third, times the derivative of the first, which is cotangent of x squared minus 6 cubed, like that. Okay, and don't forget this guy. We work with sine a lot, but we don't always work with cotangent on a regular basis, so you want to make sure you have access to that guy. Okay, so let's see. I know this guy I just keep bringing down, okay, but right here I've got to use u substitution. Well, I've got to use u substitution within the chain rule, okay? So it would start with this whole thing, okay, to the negative third power. So that would be my u there. Okay, again, this guy we're just going to keep bringing down. And then over here I have to use the u substitution within the chain rule here. So this whole thing is going to be u, okay, because it's u to the third power. Okay, so let's see, bring this guy down. And I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. It's this whole thing cubed, so I'm just going to write it as cotangent cubed of x squared minus 6. Okay, so let's see, this is u to the negative third. Okay, so it's going to be negative 3 times u, okay, which is sine of 7x to the fourth, okay, to the negative fourth power, okay, times du dx. And obviously I'm going to have to go back and take the derivative of this using the chain rule again. Okay, and let's see, we bring this guy down. Okay, so this ends up being 1 over sine cubed of 7x to the fourth, like that. Okay, so this is u to the third, so when I take the derivative, I get 3u, which is cotangent of x squared minus 6, 3u squared times du dx. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can start cleaning some things up. Okay, I've got a negative exponent here. Okay, notice I've got this negative 3, which stays up above, and this whole guy to the negative fourth goes down below. So I have a negative 3 cotangent cubed of x squared minus 6 all over, that would be sine to the fourth of 7x to the fourth, like that. Now I've got to do this du dx, okay? And my u is right here, okay? So I'm going to have to do the chain rule again, and I let this 7x to the fourth be u, and so I take the sine of u, okay, and I take its derivative, so I'm going to get the cosine of u, okay, which is 7x to the fourth times the derivative of u, which would be 28x cubed. Okay, plus, let's see, let's bring this guy down. Okay, and notice I'm going to multiply this guy by this guy for sure. Okay, so we put this up above, and I'm going to get rid of that outside set of parentheses. So I'm going to have 3 cotangent squared of x squared minus 6 all over sine cubed of 7x to the fourth. Okay, now I got to do du dx, and here's my u in here. Okay, so when I take this, I have to do chain rule again. I have to work with the cotangent of u and let u be x squared minus 6. So when I take the derivative cotangent of u, it's going to give me the opposite of the cosecant squared of u. So I get the opposite of the cosecant squared of u, which is x squared minus 6, times the derivative of u, and u would be x squared minus 6, so that would be 2x. Okay, so I'm done with all my derivatives, so now it's just a matter of, what can I clean up, okay? And so let's see what we got going on. I got some numbers. I might need a calculator, who knows. Okay, so let's see. All of this stuff goes up above while this stays down below. Okay, so I'm going to have to multiply the -3 times the 28. Okay, so that's going to give us -84. So we get -84. I've got this x cubed. Okay, I've got the cosine of 7x to the fourth, and I have this cotangent cubed of x squared minus 6. Okay, and that's all going to be over sine to the fourth of 7x to the fourth, like that. Okay, I think we're in good shape here. Okay, so let's see over here. Okay, notice that we have plus here, but I've got a negative there, so that's going to end up changing that to minus. And notice all of this goes up above. Okay, so I'm going to have that 2x times a 3, so that's a 6x. Okay, and then let's see. I've got this guy and I've got that guy. It doesn't really matter which order you put it in, so I'll put this guy first just for the heck of it. Cosecant squared of x squared minus 6 times cotangent squared of x squared minus 6, and that's all over sine cubed of 7x to the fourth, like that. Okay, so let's see. Certainly that is one form of the answer. Okay, there's no doubt about that. And so I take a look at it and ask myself, is it worth it to combine all of these into one fraction? We can take a look at it, okay, because notice really all I have to do over here is multiply above and below by sine of 7x to the fourth. Okay, so we'll take a look at it and then we'll make a decision afterwards. So it's the whole thing over sine to the fourth of 7x to the fourth. Okay, so this guy already has that denominator, so I don't have to do anything here. So I've got this -84x cubed cosine of 7x to the fourth cotangent cubed of x squared minus 6. And let's see, I'm going to have minus 6x. And remember, I have to multiply above and below by sine of 7x to the fourth. So I'm just going to stick that guy right there. Sine of 7x to the fourth. Okay, but I still have this cosecant squared of x squared minus 6. and I have this cotangent squared of x squared minus 6, like that. Okay, and so let's see. Can I do anything else? Okay. Well, I can't do anything here because notice even if I could cancel off some cosine with something in cotangent, they have two different quantities that we're taking the cosine and cotangent of, so that doesn't help. So the only possibility is if I could do something over here with cosecant squared and cotangent squared, because notice we're taking the cosecant and the cotangent of the same thing here. Okay, so cosecant would be 1 over sine, and cotangent is cosine over sine, so there's nothing I can do. Okay, so you take a look at these guys, and they are equally, okay, complex. I don't think one answer is better than the other, I'll be honest with you. I think they're both the same. Okay, so let's get into that last problem. Okay, this guy right here. And notice it's a very similar type problem, okay, just like the last one. So I'm going to treat it the same way. So d dx, okay, I'm going to take the numerator to the 4th power, cosecant 4 minus x squared to the 4th power, times the denominator to the negative 4th power, cosine of 5x minus 4 to the negative 4th, and I'm going to deal with it in that form. Okay, so let's see. Very similar to the last problem. Okay, so I take the first times derivative of the second. Okay, so cosecant of 4 minus x squared to the 4th times the derivative here, and I let this guy be my first iteration of u. So that'd be negative 4 times cosine of 5x minus 4 to the negative 5th times, I'm going to have to do du dx. Okay, du dx. Okay, plus the second cosine of 5x minus 4 to the negative 4th times the derivative of the first. Okay, so if I let that be u right there, it's going to be 4 times u, which is cosecant of 4 minus x squared to the 3rd power times du dx. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start cleaning some stuff up, and then I still got to deal with du dx's. Okay, so let's see. This guy right here, I'm going to get rid of that outside set of parentheses, and I'll write that as cosecant to the 4th of 4 minus x squared. Okay. Okay, this guy right here, I have a negative 4, and notice this whole thing is to the negative 5th power, so I can move that down below and make it to the 5th power. So I have negative 4 on top, and I have cosine to the 5th of 5x minus 4 down below. Okay, now I got to deal with du dx. Okay, so I got to take the derivative of this. Okay, so this would be like the cosecant of u. Okay, all right, so when I do that, I'm going to get the opposite of the cosecant of u, which is 4 minus x squared. Okay, times the cotangent of u, which is 4 minus x squared, times du dx, so the derivative of 4 minus x squared would be negative 2x. Oh, man, that's long, isn't it? Okay, so that takes care of all of this. Now I got to deal with this, okay? So I don't have enough room over here, so we're going to go plus. Okay, I'm going to get this guy, get rid of this negative exponent and get rid of that outside set of parentheses. So that's 1 over cosine to the 4th of 5x minus 4. Okay, right there. Times, let's see, this is just 4 cosecant. Well, I might as well get rid of that outside set of the parentheses, so cosecant cubed of 4 minus x squared. Okay, there we go. Times the u dx. Okay, well, this is your u right here. Okay, so I got to take the derivative of that guy. So to be able to take the derivative of that guy, I got to use u substitution again on 5x minus 4. So this would be the derivative of cosine of u. So I get the opposite of the sine of u, which is 5x minus 4, times du dx, and the derivative of 5x minus 4 is 5. Okay, so we have all of our derivatives done. So now it's just a matter of just trying to clean things up, okay, and see what happens here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this guy stays down below. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so I'm going to have this cosine to the 5th of 5x minus 4, and everything else goes up above. Okay, so notice the very first thing, I got a negative times a negative 2x, so that's a positive 2x. So that'd be 2x. Okay, I've got cosecant to the 4th of 4 minus x squared and cosecant of 4 minus x squared, so that would be cosecant to the 5th of 4 minus x squared. Okay, so we have cosecant to the 5th of 4 minus x squared. So that takes care of this guy, okay, and this guy right here, okay. So I'm left with this, and I forgot about the negative 4. Okay, so negative times a negative, that gives me 2x times a negative 4. That's a negative 8x up top, not a negative 2x. Forgot about that guy. Okay, so we have a negative 8x up above. Okay, so that takes care of this guy, that guy, that guy. So everything's taken care of other than cotangent. Okay, so cotangent of 4 minus x squared. Okay, and I don't like how I squished that stuff together there. Okay, somebody might forget about that x. So I've got an x there, and I've got a negative 8. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so now we come over here, and I got to deal with all of this. All right, so let's see. I only have one negative, so it's going to remain negative, so I'll put a minus sign there. This was the only guy that had a negative exponent, so I moved him down below, so that's the only guy that stays down below. Okay, so I have the cosine to the 4th of 5x minus 4 like that. Okay, and let's see, up above, we dealt with the negative already, okay? And so I got to go 4 times 5, so that's a 20. Okay, and then I got to deal with this guy, and there's no way to combine them because they're different. Okay, so I get the sine of 5x minus 4 times the cosecant cubed of 4 minus x squared. Okay, and then we take a look at that, and let's see, over here I have cosecant of 4 minus x squared, and I have cotangent of 4 minus x squared, so I might be able to do something with that. Let me see. Okay, cosecant is 1 over sine, cotangent is cosine over sine, can't do anything there. There's nothing I can do here, so this is certainly one form of the answer, no doubt about it. We could take a look at I guess you could find a common denominator and combine them. I don't know if it's worth it, because obviously if we take a look, okay, the common denominator would be cosine to the 5th. Okay, so I would have cosine to the 5th of 5x minus 4. So over here I don't have to do anything. So I've got this negative 8x cosecant to the 5th of 4 minus x squared times cotangent of 4 minus x squared right there. And then minus, here I'd have to multiply above and below by cosine of 5x minus 4. Okay, so I'd have that 20. And if I put a cosine of 5x minus 4 in there, I'll put that first so I don't forget about them. 5x minus 4, and then I got to bring this stuff down. Okay, sine of 5x minus 4, and cosecant cubed of 4 minus x squared. And you take a look at that, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think one is necessarily simpler than the other, so either one of these works with me. Okay, that should wrap it up for videos this week. I hope you guys are doing good.